The Shipyard Pyjama Party is created by Don Glen and Lucy Macey. Dinnerladies, Gamble and Christmas.
I've got it up. It's all going fabulously.
You do realise you've cursed it now.
Yes, I realise that.
Okay, so we're in season 2, episode 5.
Yes, this is Dinnerladies. So Dinnerladies only ran for 2 seasons total. So it's actually quite near the end of the series. In fact, it's like, 4 episodes away from the end of the series. So it's reaching a culmination. And this is episode Gamble.
Episode 5 of season 2.
Yeah. Okay, doke.
Written by the legend that was Victoria Wood.
Yes. I'm just getting my burps out of the way.
That was a really rubbish year, wasn't it? I think we lost Alan Rickman and Victoria Wood in the same week.
I think, was it David Bowie we lost the same week as Victoria Wood?
Or was it Prince? But they were definitely the same year.
Yes.
I mean, it was also the same year as Ronnie Corbett and Terry Wogan, and it was just a really rubbish year for...
Right.
Anyway, back from that downer. It's like, this is Dinnerladies.
Are we ready to go?
I am.
Okay.
I'm pressing play now.
Tuesday
21st of December, 1999.
And what a cast.
I love her inflatable man that she put in her car.
Yeah, Malcolm,
thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm a little bit behind you.
And also, I think this is really good just for women characters.
I mean, look at that cast. It's some of the best, female actors we have on TV. Anne Reid, and Shobna Galati, and oh gosh, what's her name? Please change colour. Oh, Maxine Peake, who's
Maxine
done
Peake, yeah.
huge stuff, and of course Thelma Barlow.
Anne Reid.
Yep, and Thelma Barlow, just some of the best. And
that's not including who's the woman HR lady?
Celia Emery. Yep. Yes.
And Julie Walters, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Dame Julie.
Yes. I mean, Victoria was very careful. She worked with the same people over and over. Although these are new, obviously she hadn't worked with Shobna Galati or Maxine Peake before, but she knows what she's doing when she picks her cast, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, and even when she was writing it, they would say that she would be up half the night before rewriting stuff. And I think, I don't know if it, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I read somewhere that they used to film it twice.
Yes, that's right. Yep. Because she would see what the audience did and didn't react to, and then she would change it and rewrite it.
Yeah.
So Tony and Bren is the ship of potential, or the destined. That's something else, is that in a lot of her work she worked with Duncan Preston, who is in this as Stan, and he was her sort of opposite. But I like that she brought somebody new in that to play me, and they do have good chemistry. It works really well.
So the other girls in the canteen have got a bet on that whether Stan and Bren are either going to kiss by Christmas Eve or sleep together by Christmas Eve. Yeah. And they got a bet with the women.
Jane.
I've forgotten her name. The woman that was in Johnny Biggs and is now in Coronation Street.
Yeah, she plays Jane, and her real name is Sue Devani. There we go.
Oh yes, and they got a bet with her department in the building of whether they're going to sleep together or not.
And they can win either 20 or 50 quid, which between them isn't very much, but okay.
It was a couple of berries down the pub.
I love Stan. He's always
so happy, isn't he?
He is. And he's so, things have to be done the right way, and I don't know, it kind of reminds me of my dad that way. Very, always going to fix something. Very of that kind of person.
I have to say, it was very unexpected for him to get together with Anne Reid's character at the end.
Yeah,
Sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
It's nice because obviously he's with Bobby, the roundy nurse, as he called her, which I think is lovely. But they split up. We hear that they split up over Christmas, and then he ends up with. But
I think it's good because what's her character's name? Anne-Marie, I've completely forgotten.
Jean.
Jean, yeah, because her husband left her for another woman, so she was in and she had another relationship with somebody else. So the fact that there's a lot of character development. You see them all go through a lot, just even though it's only like 14 episodes or 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
The character development, each character is really clearly defined and like clearly grows. It's not just episode of the week for episode of the week's sake. It does actually have a background story going through it.
Yes, that is the good point, because a lot of sitcoms do just have, let's just have the problem of the week, oh look, that because and this does have that, oh, they're filming a reality show in the building, how's that going to go, or we're bringing our mothers in for one episode. But you're right, it does have a story through it, which is all of them really have character development and their lives change through the course of the show. And it's lovely. And there you go. If she gets it on with Tony by Christmas Eve, you get 50 quid. But Stan's not involved in that. He's above that kind of shenanigans.
He's like, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. He adores Bren, not in a ship way, although he does proposition her at one point, and she's just like, I'm sorry, Stan, I won't embarrass you by telling you what I thought you said there. Very nicely handled.
Stan's on the mission to find his Christmas tree.
Yes. The Christmas trees have gone a mix up, the decorations and the trees, a typical sort of sitcom story, that, but it's done so
misunderstanding and something's been mislaid, or
but it's handled so well by Victoria Wood. It's completely different.
I think it's like we said it before. Tropes aren't always necessarily a bad thing. It's how they're executed.
Exactly. We want. Oh, there's the Christmas tree turning up there. She is Celia Imrie, and her new young boyfriend Tom. Although I don't, she got together with him at this point. I think she has.
It's a very romantic factory they work in. I have to say that all these relationships appearing and evolving.
Well, I suppose it's true of most things, most workplaces, that a lot of people meet their other half at work.
Okay, so even now, since 1985, a member of my family has worked at Butlins. My auntie got together with my uncle at Butlins. They had 3 children.
Yeah.
2 have had those children, got together with people at Butlins, and they've now had children. So Butlins babies have had Butlins babies. It's just it's crazy.
Oh, this is her. She's asking. I forgot at what point the relationship they were in there. Well, they aren't in a relationship, but and this is what's so lovely about it. Bren has absolutely no confidence in herself at all, and doesn't believe that Tony could possibly be interested. Not that Tony is exactly Brad Pitt or anything, but she just thinks because he's nice and lovely, he would, because her past relationships have been such a disaster, which we'll get on to as the episode goes on.
Yeah.
But, it's just so sad that she just, unless he directly says, I am interested in you, let's get together, she just constantly has doubt. And
so this is the thing about their relationship, though. Tony is in remission from cancer.
Yeah.
And he's saying to Ben now that he's got a follow-up hospital appointment and he's nervous. And so she's, without even hesitating, says, oh, well, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
That's the kind of relationship they've got. But then it's just really lovely. And it's like, but that's what friends do. But then they can't see beyond that, or they're scared to go beyond that.
Yes, that's exactly it. They've obviously been friends for years. And he was married and he's down divorced, and he's just gone through cancer. And it is that thing that they're such good friends, but they just, neither of them is brave enough to cross that line and change things, even though they both know, you know what I mean? There's part of them that the other one feels that way, because of how they are together, but they're still
Right, so it's the next morning.
Yes.
Glen went with Tony to his appointment, and both of them haven't turned up for work, and now the tongues are starting to wag.
Ooh. And here's
Ooh.
Norman, the bread man.
So,
Who is, by the way, agoraphobic. Do you know why he's agoraphobic? Fell off a diving board in Guernsey.
never known Brett to be late before.
No, she's always first in.
And the bread man has to put the lights on.
That's a scandal right there. And it's so true that this is the stuff in a workplace like that where everybody starts going, oh, what's going on here? Love a bit of gossip. But Stan's above gossip. He won't have any of that about his friend Brenda.
I'm acrophobic, I can't even watch Ground Force.
She's 3 floors up in a bed sitting, the phone's downstairs. It shows you the awful life Bren lives. She doesn't even have her own phone. She lives in a bed set.
Yeah, but you think this is 1999. A lot of people didn't even have mobile phones then.
Oh, exactly.
Or they were only starting to.
Yeah. I got my first one in 2000 at Christmas at the Millennium, funnily enough. So
I got mine in 97 when I moved down to uni, and oh my goodness, it was so expensive.
Yeah, because you had to pay for every text message.
Yeah, everything costs, and it was just like, yeah. Oh, the month I started seeing this guy, I went out. There was a friend of Emma's, went out there for about like a month. I think my phone bill was like 200 quid. I thought,
no,
yeah, it's like that. If you want to make me phone me on the house phone, it's like,
oh, and here come Tony and Bren together.
Oh, look at them looking all smug because they turned up together.
Yeah. What's going on?
And they're yawning.
Yeah.
Oh, this is where Twink gives a we'll come to that in a minute. I just remember what happens.
Yes. How this episode unfolds, yeah.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh, I
the
do
brilliant...
love Victoria Wood. She was such a legend, and she was just so talented.
Oh, in every single way.
And the other ones of hers that I love was it the Day We Sang?
The Day We Sang, yeah, with
and Eric and Ernie.
Yes, Eric and Ernie, and
she was and Housewife 49. I thought she was excellent in that.
Yeah, she's amazing. She just was the best, and you know, that's why I have 3 portraits of Victoria Wood on my walls.
Yeah, the one thing I do regret though is when I lived in London that I never I should have made an effort to try and get tickets to see Acorn Antiques.
Yeah, Acorn Antique 5, yeah. Oh well. But so
Tony Slattery was in that.
Sorry?
I think was Tony Slattery in that. No, Neil Morrissey was in that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's explaining to Stan what happened, and that after the hospital, Tony was feeling a bit upset, so they went back to his house and they just talked all night, and they had eggs at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that was it. And that's them coming to work.
That's just lovely, though,
isn't it? But she said to Stan, "Don't tell anybody," because it shows that I love that there is that platonic friendship with Stan, that they totally trust each other, and he's 100% got her back.
Yeah, because I think we've seen that already by the fact that he's already said, look, he doesn't say anything, and she clearly must know that to be able to confide. Because I think if she went and told any of the others, they would gossip.
Yeah, she loves them; they're her friends, but that's a different thing.
He's having a fact. She's filling the brown sauce. See,
I love Giovanni.
Are you shagged out?
No, just paper knickers. She's going for paper knickers in the morning after pill. I love the way Twinkle just thinks everybody has this very exciting sex life. She thinks everybody's like her.
Is it Love a Lentil Day?
Because I love her series of expressions for a comedy, like ha Alan Partridge, ha straight to video. And now Philip is getting the story of them. No, that doesn't mean anything. That's not proof you haven't been.
I do like Celia Emery.
Yes. She's lovely in this too. She's very.
She just in one of the murder. I hope murder.
Yeah,
one
but
of those. I think she was in one of. Yeah.
Gosh, that's terrible, isn't it? They had so
She was
many.
with Sean. I'm sure she was recently.
Yeah. Well, she was with Sean in she worked with Sean in Ever After. After Ever After.
Oh, maybe that was what I'm thinking of. Of course
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. And they filmed abroad. And yeah.
David Williams. I want to put that on at Christmas again.
Oh yeah, they are. It's him and Sheridan Smith are doing Hansel and Gretel. I don't think they are Hansel and Gretel. Sheridan Smith is the witch. So
cool.
Yeah, he was speaking about it this morning. Oh, she touched his face! She touched his face! Right, now this guy Bob is my favourite character in all of Dinnerladies.
He just looks like he's walked out of Harry Enfield's Scousers sketch.
He does. He is so funny and he's so dry. And he only has like maybe 10 lines or something, but I love them. It's so funny.
That's what they've said about her, wasn't it? That she was never greedy or selfish over giving lines to other people or other actors.
Yes, yeah, totally. It was about what was right for the character or whatever. Not sorry, just like give me a cup of hot water.
That? The picture behind him, is that a kebab or something? It looks disgusting.
Yes, it is a kebab.
That looks horrid.
I'm always like, oh, look at the chocolate biscuits. Have they got a taxi there? I love a taxi. So then Jane is still trying to ask them. She wants to ask direct.
The other guy is desperate just to get a cup of tea.
Yes. I'm not being funny, but did you get it on? Do it. No.
Everyone's just like, oh.
Oh, that's a shame. All she cares about is winning a bet.
I just love the bitch got this random bit intent. I just give us a tea bag, I'll suck it on the way home.
Yes, I love that. That's amazing. Him having the best line.
So they've still got the naked tree in the background.
Yeah, they've still not got the lights sorted, and it's tea break time, and they're giving Bren coffee instead of tea because she's still tired from her all-night non-romping because it didn't happen. So they're all disappointed. I think for Jane, I think we're meant to think that Jane only cares about the bet, and they care about the bet, but only because they desperately want them to get together. It's not just about winning for them. It's like, no, because we really, really want this to happen.
It's winning, but also the fact that it means that they'd get their happy ending, as it were. Yeah, pardon the euphemism.
And they have to work with them every day. So they see them, and it must be so frustrating that they're just like, oh, for goodness sake.
Well, they're us, aren't they? They're the audience.
Yes,
in
exactly.
This. It's like we've said before, it's like you always have the character that is emphasising what the viewer is thinking.
Exactly. And that's what they are. And they're almost a Greek chorus, basically.
The thing is, they don't hide it. They just say to them already, like, "Oh, come on, let's get it on already." They're just like, "Yeah, whatever." They don't actually like. They don't do it discreetly. They blatantly say it to them.
I think that's what's so lovely about this is that it's a very realistic sitcom in the sense of people just say stuff, And I do. I love the drama of the American ones where it's all heart-wrenching and, oh, I can't, if I say this, I'm going to have to, it's so dramatic in this. Whereas although this is very dramatic and serious in part, which will come up shortly, but it's the realness, the lightness of the way people really talk to each other and go.
Yeah, but I think that's one thing that we do excel at. I mean, you get the American sitcoms like The Big Bang Theory and Friends, which are all brilliant,
Yes.
but there's so much when you have series like The Office and Car Show and Fleabag and Dinner Ladies, there's so few episodes but you get such defined characters just in that short. If you think it's like 12 hours maximum on these series, so you don't get, I mean, you get double that in a season on the US sitcoms. And I'm not saying they're by any means less quality, but there's just so much depth in the writing that we get over here.
Yeah, they have to cram it all in a short period of time. And to do that whilst remaining funny and not seeming unrealistic is amazing, you know? To give you all the exposition and all the little glimpses into the character's background and foibles and, you know, feelings in such a short period of time is amazing. It's like, to me, the prime example of it is not a ship show at all, but is Inside Number 9. In half an hour, they introduce brand new characters, tell you their situation, give you a plot, give you a horror story, and make it funny. Like,
Inside Number 9 is genius.
Just amazing.
I do, but there's still some episodes that disturb me that much that I cannot actually go back and watch them again.
But I think that's the way British writing.
And it's like they were the live episode. I had a feeling they were going to go down the Ghost Watch route.
Yeah.
So I specifically waited till the next night to watch it. But I think anyone that watched it live, it was incredibly clever the way that it
was. I fell for it at first. The first couple of minutes I fell for it because I thought, it's just, dropping out. But then once it cut to the dressing room, I was like, no, that's fake.
Yeah, it wouldn't have done that. But also the fact that they were live tweeting as well while it was on.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
that was very good. So they've got some decorations for their Christmas tree.
They are winged members.
Members.
Members of what? Members of Parliament. Oh.
They belong to Willie in packing.
But you don't want your tree covered in genitalia?
Is that what you call that silver stuff?
I have to go wash my hands.
Funny.
It's genitalia, the silver stuff you drape over branches.
It's just line after line. If we were just watching it properly, we would just be laughing and not.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again, but I miss Victoria Wood. And even now we're watching this series is 21 years old.
21 years old.
22 years old.
Yeah.
And it's like, it still makes us laugh out loud. I mean, it's that is a sign of good writing. You want something that's timeless, It's...
I have seen this more than any other TV program ever. I've watched this hundreds of times and it still makes me laugh.
I watched it all again at least once in lockdown. I think we watched half of the season. Should we just watch an episode? I think we ended up watching like 4 of them.
We did. We totally watched.
I think we watched from this one, or maybe the one before, right the way through to the version was on the quiz show. We had to listen to eat.
And we didn't record a word of it. We just did it for our own pleasure.
I think maybe it was that started getting us the idea of the Pyjama Party, though. I think that's what a lot of where it. So maybe it is that the Pyjama Party is actually Victoria Wood's fault, quite possibly.
We can blame her or thank her, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, no, actually, no. May she rest in peace. We can't blame her.
Not our fault. We don't want to taint her with our.
No. We won't put that at her feet. No, it's like.
Oh, she's got the mistletoe. She sent out Anita for mistletoe, and she brought it back in a bag so they can.
Twink has told Bren about the bet.
Yeah, because Bren's asked her for some kind of drug to, keep her going. She's like, I know you can get something, keep me going.
So
I'll get you. But,
so did she? She got parsley instead of mistletoe.
Nobody's gonna kiss under a bunch of parsley. Poor Anita.
Oh,
Oh,
right. The
you know,
friend's rushing round like she's got a rocket up her bottom.
yeah. Even Anita, who is essentially sort of one of the lower characters, and she has a huge story development as it goes on.
Oh, complete, yeah, massive.
And it could, and they all have their story. Well, I would say the least is Dolly. Dolly has the least development, but everybody else has. And now
Yeah, the twink doesn't massively evolve that much, but
No.
but that doesn't mean they're not well written and they don't have great dialogue.
Yes, we get to know her and her insecurities, and she's just really a typical young woman of that ilk, who just wants to party and doesn't care. If I can make enough money so I can go out at the weekend and buy new clothes, and that's all I care about. Which is
We haven't seen Brenda's mother yet.
no, we have not. And no, it's not this one. It's the next one. It's the next one that appears in that thing.
Brenda's off her face.
Because some of the things you wear are a bit, I like that Brenda on feed or whatever it is a bit honest.
Perky.
Yes. Pinky Perky. I wonder if that's what she was really like, if she was like drinking or whatever. She was like, oh no, that's just what I'm like. I just get more and more.
I actually wonder what her brain to write this down on paper.
I know. The thing that I've learned from Victoria Wood when I'm writing is to be very specific. Don't say, oh, that's like a Sunday evening drama. Say that's like Heartbeat. You have to be.
Yeah.
That's funnier. That's what's so good. She makes so many cultural references, like Pinky and Perky. They're just.
I think, again, it's like One Piece of Case. So
yeah,
it's because it's that.
It's a
relative. It's that association.
Yeah. People relate to it because he was very specific description,
It's like we used to be talking about Sunday nights in Macey Bubble Bath and then watching Bullseye and Highway.
Yes, exactly.
So that was every child brought up in the late 1980s. It's like, yep, that was my life.
Yes, exactly. Running to the chip shop in your slippers, all that stuff. And you can still see the slippers. You know exactly the slippers he's describing. And here's Brenda giving a Christmas lecture to the packing department because they are not giving up their wrong decorations. So she's giving a speech about Scrooge and the lesson of
one of those long things that you cut the grass with, what, a lawnmower?
Sorry. And so she's recounting the story of A Christmas Carol. All to make this woman give her decorations back. And it works. So we'll see everything. A Christmas Carol is referencing pretty much everything we're talking about over the Christmas season.
That's the thing. It's like, we mentioned it in the moonlighting one we did, that you get the standard Christmas. I mean, this isn't.
No, this doesn't.
I mean, she mentioned Scrooge, but you kind of get especially in the American ones, you get the pastiche on the old Scrooge, or It's a Wonderful Life, or the Virgin Birth. You get those takes on it in whatever way. You always get those.
So this is different in that, because it's only a brief mention of it. So Stan's taking Twink home because she's eating a load of out-of-date mince pies.
She's bouncing up and down, saying, "I don't need to calm down."
I'll speak to you when you've calmed down.
I'll just bung them on and plug them in. It's like, don't say that to Stan, he'll have a fit.
He's leaving her with the tree lights with much hesitancy because he's a man and she's a woman. She doesn't know anything about Christmas tree lights. He's leaving it to her. And
get some sleep.
And then
right, so everyone's gone. Stan's leaving them. Tony's just arrived. So it's just Tony and Bren.
So it's only the two of them.
Just the two of us.
By the way,
She's
just
proper
like,
buzzing.
as a side point, everybody always talks about Victoria Wood being fat. She's not in the slightest bit fat there at all. You know, people always said she was chubby or whatever. She's not at all.
I don't. Why is that? I don't even understand why that's even a thing. Why do people have to comment on? I just don't get it.
They were. It was always mentioned.
Genius,
Same
and that
with
regard,
French.
it's
Yeah.
people just.
Same with French and Saunders. In fact, people always went on about them. And you're like, what does it matter? You don't talk about Les Dawson like that, do you?
No, people are just superficial, aren't they? It's.
Anyway, her and Tony having a little conversation.
Oh, he's turning the Christmas lights on. They got all twinkly.
And yes, they're saying, you know, it was a good night last night, and he's great.
She's thanking him for. He's thanking her for.
Yeah, for being there for him when he needed her, and she's. They're having that morning after, well, afternoon after. That meant a lot to me.
So Ben's saying she's going to be at home. She's got 3 carry-on films for £8 that she's going to watch by herself.
Yeah. And she
And
was going to
Tony's
see.
just invited her to go to Scotland with him for Christmas.
And her face is like, oh. Seriously? Are you real? Oh yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that. He done it. He's asked her out basically now. You're not
She even
asking.
said, like, you're not doing it for a bet, are you? And he was like, no, I wouldn't do that to you. And it's just like, oh, you're both so cute.
Now she's put the lights off so they can enjoy the Christmas tree properly. And it's gorgeous. Oh, silhouetted against the light. Oh,
With the Christmas tree.
I'm kissing. Woohoo!
And here comes the trope.
Here's the drop.
So
A man
an unknown character has just walked in.
Yep. Oh
Oh,
dear.
Uncle Martin. Who's this? He's my husband.
What?
Do, 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 do.
Oh no, wrong.
Oh.
Oh
Like,
dear.
2 seasons in there was ever mentioned Brenda's husband.
No, nobody's mentioned it.
So Andrew Dunn played Tony. That's what his name was. Right, so we're going to go straight into episode 6 of season 2, which is called Christmas.
Christmas.
Thursday, 23rd of December, 1999.
Okay. Tell me when you can see Christmas.
Christmas.
Okay, that's it. We're together now.
That's so typical, isn't it? Where you just put tinsel and a bit of wrapping paper around a bin.
The whole bran tub thing is totally new to me. I don't know. Is that a Northern English thing? Were you aware of the bran tub thing?
Bran tub?
Yeah, that's what he's got.
No.
That's what they call it. The bran tub. So I think it's the Northern English thing.
Is that like a bit like a Secret Santa?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. You put everything in and then.
That Secret Santa, I never even heard of that. So like, the first time I heard of that was when I went to America, and that was what, 94.
Yeah.
Now it's obviously it's a lot. We do like people do it over here. We did it at Universal, but it's like, but until then, I don't think I'd ever really heard of that.
No, I agree.
So it's Tony, and not a great way for Tony to find out I was married.
Oh, and she said he was here. Martin was here so they could work out the divorce because she's never actually got divorced, even though they've been split up for some time.
She was organising the tin tomatoes.
Yes. See the brand for your tub. I've never heard of it until I watched this. So I'm assuming it's a Northern English thing. No idea. CD effects and music. Yeah, everybody's got to be like the last week of school.
Oh, we always just take games in, especially at Christmas on the last day of school.
Yeah.
We play like Plunk and Guess Who.
I mean, that was
You always make your own Christmas hat out of old cereal boxes.
Yeah, and tissue paper, and make your own crackers. So we always did that with the toilet roll inside of a toilet roll.
Oh, and then you get a bit of paper and you cut it in, fold it in half, and make snowflakes.
Yeah.
and like cut little bits out of it with like the
Yay!
safety scissors.
I want to do all that this year.
Oh, and paper chains.
Yeah, paper chains, licking and sticking that sticky back paper.
Oh,
Oh dear. Oh, Branda's too shagged out to put the bread away.
and Malcolm's there with his hat on.
Oh, and Friends,
Inflatable Malk.
Friends looking. I wonder if anorak got torn. Oh, someone pulled it. That someone would be Martin, and that's a big clue. Oh, it wasn't Tony. Tony didn't. No, this is one of these conversations where you just want to interject and go, no, no, no.
Oh,
Because they think Tony did it and it's cute and she's like, no, it wasn't Tony. Oh, it's sad. I do feel for Brenda.
yeah, bless her.
She's had an awful
She's
life.
a really lovely character as well, isn't she? It's just like she's
Yes.
everybody's friend, and
She's got a very strong core of right and wrong. You know, through the series, she lays it out a few times to a few characters and says, look, you will not treat other people that way.
yeah,
And that's really, but then she doesn't hold a grudge and she, no, I've said it now, you know, we're fine now, so I've said what I've said. And that's and now she's telling them all about Martin, ex-husband.
stinking sight.
Dun dun dun. How long have you been married?
You're exactly the same time code I am for a change.
Oh, this is a lovely bit. She's saying that she's getting divorced because in case something happens with Tony, and she can, you know, she confesses it. Oh, it's so cute that she's just so vulnerable, and she thinks that Tony hates her now because she had never told him about Martin. And here he comes in all happy. Here comes Tony. Dispelling it.
Tony is lovely too. That's why they're so going so well together.
Yeah. And gives it a kiss on the cheek in front of everybody.
Their face just lights up. It's like,
does, and she's looking at him in such disbelief, like, what? You still like
what?
me?
I thought you hated me, kind of expression.
Yeah.
Whereas when Tony just comes in like he's on cloud 9.
Yeah, totally. He's just like happy and he's
He's just
going,
sort of, he's
good enough.
bless her, because he's invited us still to go to Scotland. That's so sweet.
It is so sweet.
Oh, we're just both hopeless romantics. Well, I am. You're married. It's like
Yeah, it's like you know, one of the episodes after the ones we're going to talk about today, where she's being told by a social worker to take in her mum, to have her mum come and live with her, and she doesn't want her to, and she's trying to get confidence to say that. And Philippa says to Tori something, and he says, and she says, "Do you love her?" And he says, "Of course, I love her." And she's like, "Well, you need to tell her."
yeah.
And so eventually he does, and he says, "I love you, you half-brained." What was he calling? Something lame-brained half-wit. That's what he calls her. It's true Northern love, that. Oh, it's her body with the press studs. Jean keeps having to go to the loo because her press studs keep coming undone. What colour is it? Cafe.
Oh, I went into town last year and I was like, went into New Look and they had those bodysuits back. And I said to my friend, I was like, whoever bought these back clearly wasn't around in the 1990s. They would never have bought these back if they knew.
No. One of the most painful experiences in my entire life was caused by one of those bodysuits. I'll say nothing else, but it was.
I think we need to elaborate on that, especially not in a public forum.
But yeah, when you've got a long body and you're a bit chubby and a bit chesty, They're not designed to fit us, folk.
They tend to wonder.
Oh, and here comes Jane getting the gossip, getting the latest. Nothing, carry on. It's just so nice that they are all, even though Jane's lost her bet, she's still really like, oh, you know, she wants them to get together too, even though it's just
Everyone else in the entire building are the audience. It's like...
yeah, totally. And I suppose that's the thing, is the more boring your job is, and not that canteen work is as boring as some things can be, but you know, the more the office gossip is intriguing, the slightest thing, because it's just something to liven up your day, isn't it?
Isn't that another interpretation of what we're doing anyway? Like watching TV shows, we're watching shit on telly. People are just doing it in real life.
Yeah,
It's like it's the same difference, you know.
It's why
I understand. Sitcom, but I mean, in terms of when it does happen.
Yeah, I understand. You know, that's why real life shipping is so understandable. People want people to get together and be happy, and as long as you're respectful about it and not going up to them and telling them to their face, or
get a grip.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, of that person over there.
Yes. Exactly. Well, that's right, when we were
and that's like when we were snogging. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cute. I love the way Tony's so matter of fact about it all. You know,
Brian broke his nose. He broke his nose. Disco monks.
Brenda's so insecure and so anxious, and he's just so matter of fact. Like, no, I like you, and you like me, and we're together, and that's it, you know. And she's all, oh, okay. He's unflappable as Tony, but I suppose that's reflected in his job, isn't it? He's got to manage all this chaos. So he's just a kind of unflappable guy who doesn't get put up nor down by stuff. And so he doesn't.
No, she's saying to him why she married him.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? She got tricked into going to the registry office. And then the registrar had come off her moped. So she just went through with it. And because he had all these pals who worked, she was scared of, basically. And it's just a shame. She's supposed to be, I think she's supposed to be 42 is her age in this, I think.
I think wasn't she that, yeah, 40 maybe, 39, 40?
Yeah. I think she says over 40. Oh yeah, no, because she says nearly 40, doesn't she? So she's 40-ish. And the fact that it's taken her to 40 to kind of get a grip on her life, you know, to have her life the way she wants it to be. To not be under the rule of her mother, and to not be under the rule of an abusive man, and just to live her life and be herself. And it's sad, but it also makes Pi so happy by this.
Oh yeah, nearly 42.
Oh yeah, nearly 42. Remember that.
So she always wanted an etch a sketch and never had one.
I always wanted Mr. Frosty and never had one. But apparently
Mr. Frosty.
Apparently they are rubbish. So my mum never got me one. It's rubbish, it doesn't work. I still would quite like a slush puppy machine, to be honest. But you know. Oh dear. So there's still, the bet is still going on. Jane's asking her, please don't have sex until Christmas morning. 1 bonk to you, 10 bottles of wine to me. Which is funny. But it's one misunderstanding after another. She's just got over the idea that he doesn't like her because of her ex-husband showing up. And then she's okay and she's good and she's still going to Scotland, and then it all.
And Tony's all good. I think that's what it was. She, like, because he disappeared, and she had the whole night thinking, okay, he's gone off. And then when he turned up, the fact that he was just so understanding about it, and her face lit up, was just like, okay, her whole mood just turned, didn't it?
But I think
wouldn't it?
yeah, as this episode goes on and she starts doubting again because Tony's being secretive, and obviously that immediately just sets her anxiety off again, and she just starts doubting all over again, and you just think it shows how little she believes she's worthy of love, that the slightest thing just makes her think he's not interested. Not that he's having a bad day or that he, it's all that no, she's not worthy of it. He's interested. He's gone off her, and that's that. Which is so sad, and just oh, it's maybe why I love Brenda so much, is that she obviously had so little, and she wants so little. She just wants to be loved and to be contented in a very understated.
I think she's very similar to Miranda in that respect, because I think a lot of the reasons she doesn't get together with Gary is, again, they both have a lack of confidence.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I think it's true of a lot of women, especially women, of that age, late 30s sort of era.
I think it's good though, because it again, it's like you, for other sitcoms, like you had like your Jan Francis or whatever in the 80s, it's nice to have that representation on TV, because you want women and the characters you can relate to, because most women often feel like that, and it's nice to have that represented.
And it is nice to have it be represented.
Sorry, who will be the next James Bond? City.
She's reading across 2 columns. And it's nice that it's represented in realistic women, and I don't mean this as a negative about Miranda and Victoria Wood, but they're realistic looking women. They're not models.
Sorry, I say about City. So I'm not that keen on Pierce Brosnan, but at least he hasn't got Matthew Corbett's hand up his, and it's like ... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm easily distracted by this.
Distracted by the comedy is a good thing.
Exactly, just distracted by what the program we're watching.
Yes. They're all just being very silly about City now. But yes, you know what I mean. Neither of them look like models. They're not 20-year-olds. They're not, and so often when you see a character like that, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Obviously, all women feel that way. But if you see some you know what I mean. If you saw, I don't know, Nicole Kidman or Julie Roberts going, yeah, nobody will love me. I'm too unattractive and unlovable. You're just like, yeah, all right then.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking him to love her, but you're Julia Roberts.
Exactly. And it's why, as we've said as well, why Carshare works so well, because Peter Kay is an everyman. He's the male equivalent, men can see themselves in him. And
I think it's like in this, I think people can relate to themselves in Stan and in Tony in this. So I think relative characters that are relative to people is what makes shows work. And I think that's one of the things that we were talking about today in our classes. Like, that's why we're trying to have the diversity as well. And it's people want to see people on TV that they can relate to, regardless of your background.
And I think it's lovely as well, showing that these characters are romantic. That Stan, perhaps seemingly the least romantic man on television, just wants a lovely, happy relationship, and he is romantic in his own way. And the same with Tony. They're not driving up in a limousine singing with opera and flowers, but it's still romantic in their own way.
I think also as well, like you're saying about Brenda saying that she was nearly 42, you've still got Dolly and you've got Jean that are clearly women in their late 50s, early 60s, and they're fantastically well-written characters, especially for women in that age. That isn't a common thing either.
No, totally. And that's something that Jean is a sexually adventurous woman. The whole story there about her wearing a bodysuit, because she feels sexy and she wants to be sexy and she wants sex life, even though she's in her 60s. She still wants, and
fair flipping play. Quite right too.
Exactly. So it's really, a breath of fresh air in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a yes,
She's got elf ears on her Santa hat.
yes. Singing jingle bells with a, what do you call that? It's not a harmonium, is it? A squeeze box, anyway.
Accordion.
Accordion, yeah. Singing
Jingle all the way.
Oh, I love the harmonies. Hey,
Oh, it's got elf ears because she's got the hat on back to front. It's actually got a face on the back of it.
yes, it's got Santa's face on the back. Leg up, yay! Big guy.
That would mean I'd have fallen over onto my bottom by that point. It's like,
I missed one of my favourite lines where they say it's to send a little lad to Disneyland, and they say, "Oh, is he poorly?" And they say, "No, he just really wants to go." One of my favourite lines in the whole show. Oh, and here's the reveal of Brenda's birthday. Her date of birth is Christmas Eve, but nobody knows. So she's kept it secret. Except, and Philippa's like, yeah, don't tell it. She's like, don't tell anybody, Philippa. And Philippa immediately in the kitchen and tells everybody.
like 5 seconds, she's gone in.
Yeah. It's a kind of secret it's okay to break that kind of trust. Because you know it's for the better. And this is where it all starts falling apart again. Because and it's such a soap opera thing, I have to say. You know, it's always, oh, I think he's having an affair, but he's organizing a surprise party. You know, it's a trope.
Yeah, it always has to be that misunderstanding that thinks, okay, he's with somebody else, and then they're gonna leave, and then it's all a misunderstanding, and it's
mishearing.
And it's like, oh, they're so close to get together, but it's all going to actually fall apart because of, because it's never plain sailing. It's never a case of we're together now, that's it, the end.
Yeah.
It's like no one ever goes out on a date and it's like, okay, now we're a couple. It's like no one wants to see that. It's not as much as we want people to get together. We say that ourselves. As soon as they do, we're like, okay, bye, where's the next ship? We'll jump on board that one now. It's like
it is the tension and the suspense and the intrigue that is what is so attractive, and that includes these tropes of why it doesn't happen, why they get interrupted every time they kiss, why there's misunderstandings that they don't talk about, whereas you would expect them to just say, hey, are you doing this? And they go, no, actually I'm doing this. I'll give Carshare that. It was none of the tropes. It wasn't a misunderstanding or anything like that, which was quite good, isn't it? And
but then Peter Kay just told everybody that it was not coming back and just strung everyone along for a year. It's like that's certainly an original tactic to get your viewers to come back to watch your final episodes. It's like, she's walked out of John's life. She's in a taxi. He's driven off and he's done. And it's like, we're not going to film any more episodes. No, because you filmed them already. But clever play on words, Mr. K. It's like.
Oh, and Ranita's said to Bren, I hope you get what you want for Christmas. Now that is actually foreshadowing Millennium episode.
Millennium. He said Millennium.
He thinks that Bren wants children, and that's why Bren said her age, because he said I'm too old for children. Even if Tony could. But obviously he can't, because we can't.
Did he take his cardi off?
Yes. She's turned up back to work after. Oh, she's only turned up for the party.
It had one too many mince pies.
Yes. Oh, and here's Jane. Oops. Now Jane says completely the wrong thing. It's all Jane's fault. Everything is Jane's fault. Because she says to cover up the fact she and him are doing a secret gift for Bren, she says, oh yes, we promised ourselves a Christmas kiss. And then they go and lock themselves into his room. Which anybody would be like, what? Okay.
But that would just be like a stupid thing to say to somebody you know wants to be a couple that gets together. You'd come up with anything else but that. Like...
And she'd already seen Jane as a rival because there was a picture of them kissing on holiday. And she, and Jade said, "Oh, it wasn't actually a pet. It's just, we just pet."
Didn't Bren not go on that holiday because she ended
Right,
up with her
yeah.
mother?
Yeah, she didn't go on the holiday. She gave the money to her mum instead because her mum
Yeah.
keeps it. You're right. Yes.
I can quote dialogue, but I can't remember the storyline.
No. Hey, as we've established.
Oh, and here she is, the fantastic.
Hey,
Oh,
Julie
Dame
Walters
Julie
and the wonderful
and Jeanette
Cranky.
Cranky.
Two British
Genius
ladies,
casting.
absolute genius.
Two complete. See, it's just okay. You just think like name a scene with Julie Walters and Jeanette Cranky. You wouldn't think, oh, but
No.
it's actually genius.
And Anne Reid, who is one of Britain's best classical actresses.
Yeah.
And
And Mavis from Coronation Street.
exactly. How on earth can you, if you can't describe that?
That's just, I mean, just the caliber in that one scene. It's just, I mean, not literally forget Victoria Wood, but just that alone, it's like, that's just the pull she had, it's.
Exactly. It's, and I'm just thinking, I don't remember ever seeing Jeanette Cranky on TV other than being herself. She was only ever Jimmy Cranky. I don't remember her playing any other character.
Yeah, not being funny that what Julie Walters is wearing, those trousers, they look really tall. It makes her legs look really long.
She does have on massive high heels though.
I was going to say, actually, I've just seen her wedges. That explains a lot.
I spent ages saying, are those trousers see-through? Are they like crochet see-through? But it's not, it's reflective like sequins. Because I was like, she's wearing see-through trousers.
I have to say, there was some quite fashionable, some stuff from the 1990s that I thought were quite cool.
Yes.
Like the flary belt, like the...
Oh, flares are back in, by the way.
The Suttony trousers, and it's like, they...
Big swirly pattern flares, like, flower power type are back in.
I have to say that anything I had in the mid-1990s would probably fit one leg about now.
Yeah, me too.
Any time, when I used to work, do you remember Kay's, the catalogue?
I do indeed.
I worked in their warehouse for 2 years when it was literally behind the house I lived in. And I was at college during the day, and I went there in the evenings and weekends. And basically, all the orders that came in, I was packing them up. Well, not all of them, because that would be stupid. It was like some of them. But literally, it was like working out for 32 hours a week. And it was the only time in my life I've been 9 stone.
Oh, wow.
And I was a size 8, and I'm like,
Wow.
No, I was like, so maybe that's what I need to do. Find a job with just like manual labour. Then you wouldn't have to pay for a gym and get paid for it.
Become a postwoman.
You'll go like Amazon or something. It's like...
Oh, no,
I think get a desk. Like, it's literally, why have you put it on like 4 stone since then? Because I sit at a desk. It's nothing to do with my obsession with Reese's peanut butter cups.
I didn't think I was 9 stone. I think the last time I was 9 stone, I was probably 9. I haven't seen that number in a long time, only in passing.
Yeah, actually, when I did start working at Case, the weight fell off really quickly, and Mum was like, I think for a brief moment she thought like, okay, have you got a problem here? And I'm like, seriously, have you seen what I eat?
So this scene is lovely that our friends really stand up for you, because here's Brian's mum and friend, Jeanette, who have come to basically latch on for Christmas and say, look, we've got like Christmas, so we'll
swindle off poor old Bren.
And her friends are standing up for her. Twinkle and Jean and Dolly are saying, nope, no chance, get lost. And then you see the truth of her, the way her mum speaks about her, because she says, which
even Stan's like,
Stan's not having that. You're not saying anything bad about Brenda. She deserves happiness.
The toilet roll sticking out of her trousers.
And telling her to get lost. Oh, and in fact, Stan manhandles her on his trolley.
I do love Julie Walters.
She's wonderful at that. She really is. She's very believable.
Another one coming along for me in a minute.
Oh, so it's Christmas dinner in the canteen. They've got their Christmas fancy clothes on. Well, fancy-ish.
Christmas hats.
And that's, you see, this is how well it's done. That's something that plays an important part in a later episode. That Jean gets Stan a watch for his Christmas, but it's like she said she got it from a garage, so it's rubbish. And that plays an important part in the final episode. So
that's the thing. It's like I spoke to somebody once, and they said about writing, and there's no point writing anything in a scene or in a dialogue unless it's relevant later.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise it's just wasted. It's like
Chekhov.
if you write something, it needs to be for a purpose, and I thought that stuck with me.
Chekhov's gun. You know, if you introduce something, then it should have relevance. And I have to say that's one of the Walking Dead's worst crimes, and they admit they do that.
No, there's your next essay.
Yes. Oh yeah. Don't get me started. You'll see people occasionally tweet to me Jasper Stone, and it's a trigger word for me.
Oh, they've just made Bren go to the shop, and she's gone in a huff now.
She is, because she didn't get a present because her present is yet to come. But and this is such a gorgeous scene. I love the scene. Bren's come back into the kitchen, and she's writing a note because she thinks Tony's not interested, so she's going to write a note to leave and Stan.
She's writing a Dear John.
Yeah, and here comes Stan, and she's crying, and she's, it's not going to work. We can't work together because he's going to go.
Oh, she's really upset. That's her.
She's so good in this scene. It's like you think, is this improvised? But she didn't improvise.
If you think though, all the comedy stuff she's done, if you want to see how excellent an actress is, watch Housewife 49.
Oh yeah, absolutely amazing. And she did win. I think she won the. Did she win the BAFTA?
BAFTA. Yeah, she got a BAFTA for it. And she was played Eric Morecambe's mum in Eric and Ernie.
Eric and Ernie, fantastic. Which was written by a Dundonian writer. His name is currently escaping me. Neil Forsyth, I think. But anyway. Stan's telling her a very important story about if you get a dart stuck in your face, don't try and knock it off with a screwdriver. He's just trying to keep her busy until the surprise. Do you want to see what he's got you for Christmas? This Tony you've gone on about. She's so worried. And then lift up the shutters.
It's the brass band.
A brass band.
Let's play Happy Birthday to You.
Yeah. Doesn't it just look like it's a real surprise? She looks so genuinely surprised. Like she doesn't know any of this is going to happen. It's amazing. The acting is unbelievable. She even almost looks at the camera a couple of times. Look. It's amazing that she just, I don't know what.
I couldn't get them all in the brand tub.
Yeah. Either got her a new coat and tickets. They're going to fly up to Scotland instead of driving. They've all bunched together. So they put that money to good use that they won in the bet.
And he got an etch a sketch.
Because he pays attention to everything she says. It's just, it's so lovely.
Then we has it on the plane.
Yes. He's just so sweet the way he's showing his love for her. You know, in what's it they say? You know, the 5 languages of love, and his is sort of acts of service. He shows he's listening to her. He's showing she loves the brass band. He's got the brass band there for her. You know, she wanted an extra sketch. She needs one. Her coat was ripped. He's bought her a new one. You know, although he's not saying "I love you," he's showing it every way.
He's paying attention.
Yes. Which is the best way to show somebody you love them, that you pay attention to what they say. Everybody wants to be heard. And here
They
comes
forgot about the poor bloke on the fire escape.
poor Mr. Michael, who was supposed to be jingling his bell to get let in, and they didn't hear him. Oh, it's so lovely.
Okay, so anybody wants to go and watch that, highly recommended. Allow a day to watch the entire series. It's on BBC iPlayer. And I think it might even be on BritBox.
Oh yes, yeah, probably on BritBox as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it's just come back onto iPlayer, so it should be there for a while.
I mean, let's go through them now, though, and what's with the audio description? Because I'm sure I wrote the script for the audio description for one of these episodes, and I wonder if it is, it says the name at the end of it.
Oh wow!
Oh, I might have to go back and see. That's another reason just to watch them all now.
Yeah, oh my god, I've been looking out for you again. One of the 3 million times.
Yeah, I did this, and I did an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I did because I used to do it as overtime when I worked at ITFC. And,
do you know that's a job I always wanted to do? Isn't that amazing?
yeah, and then I
How did I feel at getting the Dinnerladies theme tune in your quiz? My greatest shame, isn't it, that I didn't get that right? Can't believe I didn't identify it. That was shocking. Shocking. So that's almost near the end of the series of Dinnerladies. So I think they've done the sort of getting them together, but getting them together before the end. That could have, you could have watched that and thought that was the last ever episode, and it would have worked because they, but they actually go further with that. What, another 3 episodes? Is it 4 episodes?
It's three episodes.
So, and it ties up everybody else's stories as well, which is really nice. But it's a different kind of Christmas episode because it, as you said, it's not relying on the It's a Wonderful Life or Scrooge. It's a real Christmas, the kind of real Christmas thing that people experience, which is about your friend doing something nice for you, and her and Tony finally plucking up the courage to cross the line. and I suppose that's a lot of things people do get together at Christmas because it's a much more sort of romantic time of year, and it's just nicely done.
So Christmas and New Year. I mean, New Year is not TV related, but they're like New Year. If you just look at When Harry Met Sally, it's like
exactly. I think it's a what's the other one? Is it not Serendipity? While You Were Sleeping. That's another one.
Yes, that's a cute film.
But I really like that Dinnerladies did something different while still feeling Christmassy and being romantic and staying in character. It's not like a lot of the things like the Moonlighting one, where it's not exactly canon. It's
and just being flipping funny.
Well, yeah, very funny. Never stops being very funny.
So
we love it.